Okay, so the topic is the steps in the powder metallurgy process. Okay, so what exactly the steps that are going to be taken place in the powder metallurgy process? Okay, so there are four important steps. Okay, so even for the examination point of view, so if they're going to ask the steps in the powder metallurgy, first mention all the four important steps. Okay, so once you guys want to mention the four important steps, after that take each step, so write down the explanation for that. Okay, so the in that the first important step is the powder production. Okay, so we have to produce the powder using some method. Okay, it may be the atomization is the famous method that has been employed to produce the powder. Okay, so apart from the atomization, we're going to have the electrolysis. Okay, even in that method also we can have to obtain the powder. So after the once the powder production has been done, we have to compact it. Or compact it means we have to press it. So we have to press the powder structure. Okay. So that there will be no voids in between the powder structures. Okay. There is no gap between the powder molecules. That's why we're going to have the compact. Okay. So the main purpose of the compact is to obtain the green strength. Getting, so like how in the F&F lab once the sand has been given for you guys. Okay. You guys want to compact over there. Okay, what's the purpose over there? So there shouldn't be any sort of air gap. Okay, so if there is air gap over there, what happens, the small voids will be takes place once the load has been applied. So at this particular points there's going to be a failure over there. Okay, so because we have to avoid that, so with the help of the compaction. So after that the compaction, we have the sintering process. Okay, so the main purpose of the sintering is so so reduce out any sort of moisture content in the given powder structure. Okay, to leave it out any moisture content. Okay, we're going to heat the compact powder in the furnace. Okay, so in that furnace we're going to heat it with the good strength. So if there's any voids, that will be minimized. Okay, so that is the purpose of the sintering. After that, so we're going to have the secondary and other finishing operation. Okay, so finishing operation means for the aesthetic point of view, what are the dimensions we require? So that much dimension we're going to maintain it by some secondary operation. So these are the four important steps in the powder production. Sorry, in the powder metallurgy process. So let us go one by one. Okay. So first one, as I've been told, the powder production. So the basic raw materials which we're going to use for the powder metallurgy components. Okay. So is the powder. Getting, so that is the raw material for the powder metallurgy process. Okay, so this powder have been engineered in the sense they have been manufactured to precise specifications. Okay, either they can able to give the precise specification of the powder, or else we can able to combine according to the given specifications in our laboratory. Okay, so whichever is been needed according to the need, we can able to do those things. So either you guys can able to purchase the powder directly from the market, or else you guys can able to synthesize the powders by mixing in the different ratio than the standard ratio. Okay, so that is also one type of producing the powder. So the choice of starting material is influenced by the product type. Okay, and the lesser extent of fabrication process to be which fabrication process we should be used depends upon that. We're going to choose the type of powder. Okay, so several production methods are available for making powders, as I've been told. Okay, so the production of raw materials, it may be in terms of powder structures for the given dimensions. Okay, so there is n number of methods have been there to produce the powders. Okay, so in that most commonly we're going to use, okay, this is the atomization. Okay, atomization, it is nearly produces the 80% of the total volume of the powders. So almost in the 80 cases, all the things we're going to use, we're going to get the powders with the help of the atomization process only. It may be the ferrous, it may be the non-ferrous metals. Okay, so it may be the powders are stainless steel or a nickel based alloy. For whichever the thing, you can able to get the things. So apart from the atomization, okay, we're going to have we're going to employ another important method to produce the powder to some extent. Okay, so it is not in all the cases. In all the cases, we'll be moving for the atomization process only. Okay, so in some cases we'll be moving for the electrolysis. Okay, especially for the copper molecules. Okay, so we'll be moving for the electrolysis process. So once the powders have been produced, okay, so that powders can be tested for the properties. For example, what is the size of the powder? So what is the density, what is the compressibility of the powder and all, we can able to check it out before we're going to use it. So apart from that, we can have the powder characterization is very important, since the powder characters influence both the compaction behavior as well as the properties of the green and sintered part. So once the powder has been obtained either directly from the company or else by mixing in the different ratio according to the given specification. Okay. So once the powder has been obtained either from the atomization process or else from the electrolysis process. Okay. So once the powder has been obtained, we have to go for the checking of the properties. Like so, what is the size distribution of the powder? Okay, we're going to have the instrument for the size in order to determine the size distribution of the powder. Okay, apart from, we have to check out the density of the powder. So density means mass by volume. Okay, so we have to check out density of the powder, and we have to check the compressibility before it's being compacted. Before it's going to the next step, we have to check out the compactability. So apart from that, the powder should be checked for the characterization. Characterization means using SEM, scanning electron microscope. Under that, we have to keep out the powder structures, and we have to check out the entire behavior of the molecules over there. How it has been arranged, to what extent whether any sort of voids have been present. So for this thing, we have to go for the characterization of the powder. So this is about the first step. The first step is the powder preparation. Any doubt in the powder preparation? So any doubt in the powder preparation? So anyone kindly answer, is there any doubt in the powder preparation? Mahesh?
No, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
any, okay, fine. Pa. So this is the first step in the powder metallurgy process, is the preparation of the powder. Okay. So that is the raw materials which we're going to use for the next step. Okay. So these raw materials or powders has been obtained through the atomization process or as the electrolysis process. It depends upon the type of application. Okay. So apart from that, once the powder has been obtained, we have to check for the density and we have to check for the size distribution. So we have to check the compressibility property, and we have to check the SEM images. The powder characterization should be done over there. Okay, so this is the first step. So in the second step, okay, the compaction. Okay, so compaction means compression of the powder molecules. Okay, so compaction of powder mixtures is generally carried out using dice machine to close tolerances. Okay, so even in our laboratory in the MT lab, we have the compression molding machine has been there. Okay, so for the compression of any powder molecules, we have the machine over there for the powder compaction. Okay, so using the dice which have been arranged in the machines, through that we're going to compact it for the given tolerances. Okay, so dice are typically made from the steels or as a cemented carbides because of the high strength. So we have to go for the either by using the steel or as a cemented carbides. Okay, so equipment used for the compaction includes the mechanical or hydraulic press. Either mechanical loading we can able to do, or is the through the hydraulic press we can able to apply the compressive load on the powder molecules. So in our laboratory we have the hydraulic press machines. So the basic purpose of compaction is to produce a green compact with the sufficient strength to withstand further handling operations. Okay, so this is the main purpose of why we have to go for the compaction. The main purpose is to get the green compact. In other words, the green strength. Getting so with sufficient strength to withstand any further operations. Okay, so that's why you're going to have the compaction over here. Okay, if there is any wash between the powder molecules, it has been condensed, it has been compressed over there. Okay, so we can able to either go for the this pressing or the hot pressing is also necessary. Okay, depending upon the applications we can able to go for it. So these betters basically employed for the metallic and the ceramic components. Okay, so it is not employed for the other things. Especially it's been compaction has been used for the metallic and the ceramic components. So this is about the second stage in the powder metallurgy process is the compaction. So the third important stage is the sintering process. Okay, so sintering means sintering of the green complex is carried out in the furnace. Okay, so we're going to have the furnace. I think you guys have been used to remove the moisture content either in the F&F lab or else in the empty lab. Okay, so the electrical furnace has been there. Okay, so you guys going to heat the things for the given temperature over there. Okay, so this sintering process has been carried out in the furnace under the controlled atmosphere. Okay, so the main purpose is to bond the particles metallurgically. Okay, to bond the particles together over here. Okay, so sintering is carried out at a temperature above 70% of the absolute melting point of the material. Okay, so it is almost carried out below the melting point. Okay, it's almost near to the melting point. Okay, so once the melting point before the melting point has been reached, the particles will be bonded together. Okay, diffusion bonding occurs by the diffusion of atoms giving integrity of the compact. Okay, so that's why we're going to heat the things over here. Okay, so apart from that, the almost the temperature of the furnace depends upon the type of material and the temperature. Okay, so for some materials we're going to use up to 1200 degrees Celsius. Okay, so to remove out any moisture content or else to get a good bonding strength, we can able to go for this up to this temperature. So this is about the sintering process. And the last fourth step in the powder metallurgy process is the secondary and the finishing operations. So you know the meaning of the secondary and the finishing operations. Okay, so just to be the close tolerances for the workpieces. Okay, close tolerances to the workpieces, we're going to remove some extra materials over there. Okay, so it may be either using the grinding or plating or some other process. Okay, so these are the four important steps in the powder metallurgy process. So any doubt over here? Any doubt over here?
No.
Because this is very important topic for the examination point of view. The steps involved in the powder metallurgy process. Getting four important steps and explanation for all the four important steps. So once the steps has been finished, we're going to have the advantages, disadvantages, and the applications. Okay. So the process advantages. Okay, it's going to eliminate or minimize the machining. Okay, little or no scrap. Okay. So efficient material utilization, about 95% material utilization can be done in this powder metallurgy process, and it is the environment friendly and is energy sufficient. So it may be suitable for the moderate to high volume component production requirements. Okay, so like this, we're gonna have a lot of advantage of this powder metallurgy process. At the same time, we're gonna have a lot of applications also. Okay, so applications in the sense it has been used in the almost every industry is related to the mechanical field. See, almost the powder metallurgy has a wide range of application ranging from the automotive to the advanced aerospace components. Okay, so wherever we need to get the high finishing process of this powders, we can able to use this powder metallurgy process. Okay, so the parts which are impossible to manufacture by any other methods. Okay, so if it is not possible to manufacture from any of the other means, then we can able to go for the powder metallurgy process. Apart from that, okay, so parts which are difficult to make by other production, for example, the parts made of tungsten and the molybdenum. Okay, so which cannot be made efficiently by any other process. Okay, so at that time we can able to go for the powder metallurgy process. So components where powder metallurgy is effective alternate to parts made by the casting and the forging also. And these are the some of the applications. Okay, applications and the type of powder used. Okay, for the slot cleaning, we're going to use iron, steel, or stainless steel powders. For the abrasive wheels, we're going to use iron, steel, copper, zinc, and nickel powders. Okay, so these are some of the applications, advantages, and the disadvantages of the powder metallurgy process. So we're gonna it's been used in a lot of field over here. Okay, so in the aerospace, in the agriculture, in the automotive. So wherever it's been necessary, we can able to go use this particular method. So this is the important topic for the examination point of view, and we're going to take attendance. So try to revise this important topic. So it's very important. Okay. So revise it at least once. Okay. So we're going to do the assignment 2 and the quiz 2 in the next 1 or 2 classes. Okay. So in the next 2 classes, we're going to give the assignment and the quiz. So you guys should be ready for that. Even if we tell the guys if who are not attended the first quiz and the first assignment, getting, so you guys are going to lose the marks also. So we are telling n number of times in the groups. If at all if you are not done the assignment part and the quiz part, so take it, or else you guys going to lose the marks. We're going to tell in the beginning itself. So we're going to wind up over here. By next class